Hello, we're going to Chicago! Hi, so I thought that I would vlog my first Artist Alley convention experience ever for you. So I am currently preparing for C2E2, which is the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo in Chicago, Illinois. I've never been to this event before. I've never been to Chicago. I'm very excited, but I'm also really nervous because I've never done a big event, let alone a convention before. So the mess that you see behind me is me trying to test my Artist Alley display. I'm in the middle of working on making signs and making sure that all of my different prints and stickers and everything fits on my display. So that's what I've been working on today, and I'm also going to start packing today. In preparation for this, I watched a ton of Artist Alley vlogs. I'll put some of my favorite channels down below, but I watched Molcana, La Spirit Designs, Julian Doodles, and a bunch of others. What I've learned from watching those vlogs is that every convention is a little different and there's no way to perfectly prepare for them. You kind of just have to do the best that you can and then just be ready to go with the flow. That's kind of difficult for me. We're gonna do our best. How did we get here? So in December 2023, I started applying to conventions for the 2024 convention season. December 6th, I applied to C2E2. Now, C2E2, because it's a comic convention, I feel like a lot of the artists are published comic authors and illustrators and graphic novelists. And when I think about comics, I wouldn't say that my style of art always necessarily comes to mind. When I applied, I wasn't totally sure that this convention would be right for me or if I even stood a chance of being accepted. Different conventions also have different ways of accepting artists to their Artist Alley. Sometimes it's first come, first serve. Sometimes it's a jury, meaning a committee is looking through all the artists and hand choosing and vetting the ones that they want to be there. Sometimes it's a juried lottery, or it's just a straight up lottery. For C2E2, it seemed like it was a juried Artist Alley. So after I applied, I got a confirmation email saying that I would hear back by January 19th. January 19th rolled around and I got an email saying that I had been put on their waitlist. Over a month after that, February 26th, I got an email saying that a couple of tables at Artist Alley had opened up and if I was interested to reply to the email right away. The email also specified that they were reaching out to more waitlisted creators than there were tables available, so it was kind of like a first come, first serve. If you want a table, you kind of have to grab it now. I emailed them back within 9 minutes and said, yes, please. I want a table. I'll pay for it right now. What do I have to do? It's been kind of a whirlwind ever since the end of February. I definitely had enough print designs and sticker designs where I could have just reordered the inventory that I had and been fine. But me being a little bit extra and also just being really excited for this event, I was like, I think it'd be pretty cool if I made a little bit of new art to showcase there and debut there. So basically all of March was just nonstop making art. Because I watched other artists and their Artist Alley vlogs, I know that a lot of experienced artists, sometimes they go to conventions alone and it's perfectly doable to do these alone, but I personally don't like traveling alone, especially to a city that I don't know. I also kind of figured for my own peace of mind, I would be a lot happier and a lot more comfortable if I had somebody with me helping me. I asked my partner Aaron if he wanted to go, and I think that Aaron probably would have wanted to go if I wasn't working the Artist Alley the entire time. So he said, no thank you. I then asked my friend Cece if she wanted to go with me. I helped her animate NYC last year. I know we work really well together. We've done a bunch of events together now, and she's my bestie. And she's also an artist, so she understands what's going on, she understands what's happening. So she's coming with me to Chicago. I am paying for her travel and expenses. So that has been what I've been doing. And now today is Saturday, April 20th. C2E2 takes place on April 26th through the 28th. I'm gonna start packing my suitcases. After that, it'll be off to Chicago. Don't forget to like and subscribe because this is just fun for me. It's fun for me to see, like, and subscribe, Yeah. Hi again. So I've started packing and I just quickly wanted to go through what I have so far. When I was watching other Artist Alley vlogs and seeing people's packing strategies, that actually really did help me, so maybe this will help some of you. So in my large checked bag, I've decided to put my big prints, all of my stickers in my tote bags, and some display items. So first up in this little, I think it's supposed to be a sock or an underwear drawer organizer, but I am using this for all of my individual die cut stickers. I also have these little blue glassine envelopes in case people only buy stickers. I can put them in here, but you'll see that I have all of the stickers in here. They're all bundled up nice and neat with hair ties, and I've numbered all of the compartments according to how they're going to be numbered on my display. That way the stickers will be really easy to grab for either CC or I when somebody wants to buy some. And then under that, I have my tote bags on top. I'm only bringing 10 of them because I'm not really sure how well tote bags sell. And then under my tote bags, I have plastic bags for packaging all of my big prints. And then I have underneath here, I have the big prints themselves. All the prints are kind of sandwiched between these pieces of corrugated cardboard, much like these. These are actually my display prints that I'm gonna actually put on the grid cubes. But all the prints are kind of sandwiched like this between pieces of cardboard, which I've just taped together with painter's tape. That's one half of my checked bag. And then on this other side, I have my grid cubes that you saw earlier with all of my display signs. The grid cubes are kind of keeping my display signs really flat. And then I have a bed sheet. The sheet is to cover my display in between days. So when Artist Alley closes at night, most people will cover up their displays just to, you know, keep everything a little bit safer. There's a little bit extra room on this side because I was going to put my tablecloth and my table runner, which has my business logo, also on this side of the suitcase, but Cece has volunteered to take that in her suitcase because she has space. And when I weighed this entire suitcase, it's almost at the limit of what American Airlines will allow. I think the weight limit is 50 pounds, and when I weighed this suitcase, it was 49.7 pounds. Most of the weight is coming from the big prints. Prints are deceptively heavy to bring. So in total, out of the big print designs that are in the suitcase, I think I have 6 designs. I'm bringing 20 copies of each design, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's heavy. Okay, and then in this suitcase, which is my carry-on, I have my display tote that hangs up on my grid cubes. There's a piece of tape holding the back half of the tote bag flat. I have my 11 by 5 prints, which again, I've sandwiched between cardboard in here. I could put them in the big suitcase, but I've decided not to. And then I also have all the catalogs. And then in this plastic box has all my small prints, my 5x5s and my 5x7s. This is a really great container. So I believe if you search like photo box on Amazon, I'll have a link down below. I think they're going to be pretty well protected. And I like this organizer because I figure when we get to the con, I can just take this entire box out and we can just pull prints from the box whenever we need them. And you know, they stay really flat, they stay really organized, and I'm not really worried about them moving around too much in my suitcase. And then also in here, I have boxes of business cards. I have some blank white labels just in case I need to mark things as sold out or change the price on something. And then also in here, I have clear bags to pack people's prints in. And then in addition to all of that, I'm bringing what I am really calling my Artist Alley emergency kit, which has things like my magnets for my grid cubes. It has a pair of scissors, painter's tape, binder clips, Post-it notes, just in case items for display. These are all going to go in my checked bag because I can't bring scissors in my carry-on, of course. My dad has always said that it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. So I'm kind of bringing just some random office supplies. I don't really know if I'm gonna need them, but we'll find out. Oh, I totally forgot I am packing my washi tape. This is just a plastic bin where it doesn't have a cover on it. So I've made a little cover out of painter's tape, and this is just a trick that I used every time I was a teacher and had to move classrooms. Using painter's tape as a makeshift cover for things was really helpful. And I know this probably looks a little bit wasteful, but usually what I do is I'll end up using this painter tape on my display because it's easily reusable. So yeah, feeling sort of prepared at this point, but not quite, not 100%.
I've got an internet crush. She's not a celebrity, but she's taken. So can't help falling in love.
Good morning. Are you excited for Chicago? Yeah.
Don't talk to people you haven't met. I guess my mama was right, but it's not 'cause everybody you meet is dangerous.
We made it. We made it to Artist Alley. There's only a couple people here setting up, so.
We have all the stakes spread out.
Yeah. Look how far back it goes. It goes all the way back that way. We're all set up. Yeah, Cece helped me with my luggage on the way here because I'm short and weak, which means I can't do anything. Do you want to go to Wiener Wonderland? Giant potato. I want you so bad. Are you excited to eat?
Yeah!
Yeah! Food. We're gonna get dumplings.
Yeah!
Yeah!
What am I supposed to do? 'Cause I've got an internet crush.
Excited.
She's not a celebrity, but she's taken. So can't help falling in love. Can't take the hint and give up. I've got an internet crush. Internet crush. Internet crush.
You get the chocolate cronut from Paris Baguette. The Paris Baguettes in New York never have the cronut.
Cecile. Good morning. Are you excited?
Yeah.
We have pastries for the whole day. This is fine.
Yeah.
Walk into the place, a spot you from a ways. My heart, it started racing. The crowd across the way, flowers on your face, and then I'm from the 80s. Someone keeps blocking my way. I can't feel farther away. Wait on a moment to say that I want you. You know that I want you.
Hello. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm labeling my business cards with my table number.
We're gonna make lots of money.
She just wants to be fed. Less than a minute.
Oh, it's 10.
Oh, it's 10? It's time?
It's time. Stand up. I got my Crocs. My dog shoe Crocs.
I have my matching Crocs.
Yeah.
We're gonna be comfy. No one can see them but you.
I'm gonna put in that clip of Volvo going like, ah.
It's 5:22.
Man, broke even.
I paid back.
Everything else is free money.
Thank you. Sorry. It's about 5:30. I made back the table cost and travel expenses. So everything from here on out is profit or spending money for us on this trip. We sold out of my tote bags really early, and we also sold out of my drink print. I only really brought 20 to like 25 of each print based on the recommendations from other experienced artist alley artists. So yeah, it's been great so far.
I always believed in Marianne. She didn't believe in herself. I just need all of you to know that I'm always right.
We got some cute stickers. These two are from Ember and Emmy. I will put their handle here and down below. And then we also got these from Camel is Neat, and they're so cute. And we also got chocolate. We also got chocolate from someone who bought a lot at my shop, and he was just so kind. And these are really nice chocolates.
And I already ate mine.
I'm saving mine.
It was tasty. It was a good chocolate.
It's dinner time. We're getting hand-pulled noodle soup. Good morning. Day two.
We have more pastries.
We got more Chinese bakery pastries, and I have a soy milk. We lost our voices talking and laughing last night.
Yeah.
We're not allowed together anymore. No, we are. Because Cece got into Otakon, she found out this morning. Yeah, which means we're both going. Day two. I sold out of my tote that was hanging here and my AAPI drink prints, which were hanging here. And I'm a little bit low on a couple of prints. I'm low on this print and my skateboard ghost. I'm also low on my I Think I Will Cause Problems on Purpose sticker. And people really like this pancake sticker, which doesn't do as well in my shop, so I'm really surprised. But overall, I still have most of my inventory for this morning, and I'm hoping it's gonna be a good day.
To get my name in, someone keeps blocking my way. I can't feel further away. Wait on the moment to say that I want you. You know that I want to.
It is 4 o'clock on day 2. I've sold out of several prints. I've run out of big bags for my large prints, but it's going really well. So we're in kind of a lull right now. People have been coming in waves. I still think it's been a little slower than Friday.
I think I expected it to be busier because people were talking about Saturday being sold out.
Saturday is sold out.
And I do think there are more people, but I don't know if we are busier.
I don't think we are busier. But there's definitely a lot more foot traffic in Artist Alley. At least the foot traffic started earlier in Artist Alley. So we're chilling. And now I'm getting concerned about how many prints are sold out. I kind of feel bad I didn't pack more, but it was my first time. It's the end of day 2. We're eating food. Friday was about the same as today. So I would say they were pretty equal, but I'll show you all the numbers and numbers of sales at the end. But today was really fun. We got to talk to Emmy again. We saw a lot of good cosplay, but we're really hungry. It's day 3, last day. We're very tired.
I want Marianne to sell lots, but I also want to sit down for the whole day.
One of my favorites, thank you! Look at all these little signs that CC made.
She hasn't used this one yet.
I'm fine, it's healthy. Someone stopped by and gifted us this tiny little glow-in-the-dark frog for CC and I. And now they...
He's so tall. No, I'm doing a thoughtful old man sound.
Aww, capybara.
Capybara, 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 capybara.
This is the state of my booth. I sold out of a lot of things.
I have to go. so many big prints. This was like this. And now it's like this.
We're eating our final dinner in Chicago. Are you excited?
I'm hungry.
Hungry. So many banchas. We're so lucky.
Hi, Chicago. Like, wait.
Hello! I am now back from Chicago. I hope you liked seeing some of the clips from the experience that I had there. And now I want to talk to you just a little bit about what the whole trip was like. One of the reasons that the clips are super sporadic and a little bit random is because I was using my phone to vlog for the trip, but my phone was also what I was using to take payments as my payment processor. So I didn't get to film as much as I would have liked, but I'd like to tell you about the whole experience now. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what the trip was like and what every single day-to-day situation was like, and then I will talk about my inventory and actually selling out of a lot of my print designs and other items, and then I'm going to talk to you about the money and numbers. And I'll have timestamps down below if you just want to skip around and find the information that you're looking for that could help you on your own artist alley or convention journey. We ended up arriving in Chicago around 8:30ish Chicago time, I think, maybe 8:45 Chicago time. So I was told that we could pick up our badges at the convention center that day, which was Thursday, the day before the convention started, but I wouldn't be able to set up my artist alley table until noon. We ended up getting to the convention center around like 10 or 10:30. Our plan was to pick up badges, like get breakfast at the McDonald's and kind of just wait until noon to set up my artist alley table. But when we got to the convention center, I picked up my badges. I didn't have any trouble with that, and I ended up just asking one of the volunteers, like, hey, I know I'm not really supposed to set up until noon, but is it possible for me to at least like take, you know, my bags and my luggage to Artist Alley for later? They said, oh, people are starting to set up now. Again, this is around like 10:30 a.m. and they were like, people are starting to set up now. I think it's okay if you start setting up now. So we ended up taking my luggage to Artist Alley right away. We kind of walked through the exhibitor section and we saw that a lot of the exhibitor booths were either already set up or were just starting to load in and set up, so that was pretty cool. There were not a lot of artists in the Artist Alley section setting up. I think there were like 3 or 4 other people who were starting to build their displays by the time we got there, but they were setting up early and nobody really seemed to mind that I was there early, so I kind of got to set up and leave my luggage at the convention center right away, and I didn't have to haul it anywhere, and we also didn't have to like spend an hour and a half in a McDonald's, which was really nice. CC is so speedy at setting up the grid cubes for the display, so it ended up being a pretty fast process. It was really nice that I had practiced setting up the display at home and I had taken a photo of what I wanted it to look like that we could both reference. So we were both super clear on what it should look like, the structure of it, where every single print and sticker was going to be hung, and that made the process go a lot faster. Hotel check-in wasn't until about 4 p.m. and then we decided to just kill time by getting lunch and walking around Chinatown. So the next day, Friday, the first day of the convention, the Artist Alley hours were 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. We ended up waking up super early. I was really not sleeping just because of nerves. Our plan every single day was to go down this one street in Chinatown that has a Chinese bakery, affordable Chinese pastries to bring to the convention center because they do allow outside food. And that was gonna be our breakfast and lunch every single day so that we didn't have to buy from the convention concessions, which are usually very overpriced. Our hotel was also near a Walgreens where we could get bottles of water to bring. So we actually got to the convention center, I think like 8:30 a.m. every single day, which is really early considering we were already set up and the doors didn't open until 10 a.m. Every single day we would get to my table, sit down, decompress, sort of like the calm before the storm, eat breakfast, and hang out. It was also a really good time to walk around and see other tables at Artist Alley because I knew I wasn't really gonna have time to walk around too much once the doors opened. The Friday morning when we were walking around, I was starting to get kind of intense imposter syndrome. I was getting a little bit intimidated, and then the doors opened at 10. So I was expecting Friday and Sunday to be slower than Saturday. Everyone had said like the 3-day passes I think had sold out, and the Saturday 1-day passes had sold out. I was getting really nervous that I wasn't gonna sell anything, and I decided pretty early on that my goal was to break even. Spoilers, I did better than break even, so that was good. That was good. But in the beginning I was very nervous, but I found my groove really quickly. Foot traffic was, I would say, like steady throughout the day. It did feel like people were coming in waves. There would be times where I would see, you know, a handful of people walking down my aisle in Artist Alley, and then all of a sudden it'd be a huge wave of people. Like when there's mystery traffic on the highway. There was definitely a lot more foot traffic on Saturday. I wouldn't say there were a lot more sales, but I did feel like I was talking to a lot more people that day. So by the end of Saturday, my voice was dying a little bit, and I also felt extremely tired. Sunday was the shortest day. The hours for Artist Alley were 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I was expecting the Sunday to be a lot slower because when I watch other Artist Alley vlogs, people usually say like, oh, Sunday's a slower day, it's a lot of families. Usually if people have multi-day passes, they might be out of money, so there's less spending going on, you're not making as much. But I still felt like there were a lot of people stopping by my table to say hi, basically up until like 3 p.m. It's towards the end of the con at that point. In any case, it was a super enjoyable 3 days, and then that Sunday, we packed up my table super fast. Cece is just as fast at breaking down my display as she is putting it up, and I was helping her. I don't know where she got that energy from because I just felt exhausted and kind of wanted to lay face down on the floor for like a solid 15 minutes. She is efficient. We dropped off my bags and then just kind of spent the rest of the day getting dinner, Korean barbecue, which was really delicious. It was a lot of food and it was expensive, but we wanted to treat ourselves for working so hard the entire weekend. That was it. That was basically the end of our trip. It felt like the whole trip was a huge whirlwind, but I really had the best time and I met so many great people there. Okay, so that was kind of like a recap of how the days went in Artist Alley, and now I'm going to talk to you about inventory. And I was watching a bunch of Artist Alley vlogs, doing research for what to pack, what are the options for different types of displays. The biggest question mark I had in my mind was how much stuff do I bring? I'm coming from out of state and I'm flying on a plane, which means that I'm kind of limited in the number of suitcases that I can bring and how I pack things, and also the weight becomes a factor because art prints especially, the weight from art prints adds up very quickly. People were saying if you don't have a good starting point, 20 prints is a good number. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pack 20 or around 20 of every print. I actually ended up bringing 20 of my 11x14s, and then for my smaller 5x7s and 5x5 prints, I brought 20 to 25. The ones that I brought 25 of are my better sellers in my shop, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll need like a couple extra of these. I don't really know. I know this is probably gonna sound ridiculous, but I was like genuinely under the impression that I wasn't gonna sell a whole lot. I really didn't think selling out of anything that I was bringing was gonna be an option or within the realm of possibilities. I thought I was overpacking. I also brought, I think, 19 of my 10x5 drink print, just because I was trying to save a couple of them for a shop update later and also another market that I have in May coming up. For stickers, I think I brought around 40 of my sticker sheets. These are brand new items in my shop, so I had no idea if people were even gonna like them or not. I was kind of just taking a gamble and bringing them to Chicago. And then I also brought around 40 to 50 of my die cut stickers, or like my vinyl stickers. And I brought a ton of design because I had a lot of mix and match, buy 3 get 1, buy 4 get 1 deals. Just to have a big variety I felt was really important, but because I was bringing a huge variety, it also meant I was bringing slightly less quantities. So I only have 1 tote bag design. I ended up bringing 10 tote bags with me, thinking, you know, if I could just sell half of them, that would be great if I didn't have to carry them all back home. And then I also brought washi tape with me. I think that's the last product type that I had. I kind of expected washi tape to not be the biggest seller, but I kind of just thought, you know, for variety, I'll bring washi tape, and I brought about 8 rolls of each design that I was bringing. So all in all, I was bringing about 20 to 25 of each print, 40 to 50 of my stickers, 10 tote bags, 8 washi tapes. Basically, by the end of Friday, the first day, I completely sold out of tote bags. I was not expecting to sell out of tote bags. The design is a little older, so to see people get really excited about it in Chicago was kind of encouraging. Also, by the end of the first day, I sold out of my limited edition drink print. By the end of the entire convention, these are all the prints that I sold out of, the ones with the sold out stickers. Also, Cece, thank you for making the little sold out signs for me. My bigger 11 by 14 prints, I wasn't expecting to sell out of any of those. Those were all a surprise. These were also the heaviest in my luggage, so I ended up being very excited that I didn't have to bring as many of those home. This was the first design to sell out. It's the Spirited Away Duck Bath. These two also sold out, and these two are best sellers in my shop. The biggest surprise out of almost all of my prints was this print right here, but it's my little trick-or-treating ghost, and in my mind I was like, I can't really just be a ghost artist and not have anything Halloween themed. I thought like April is too early for the Halloween people to be on the lookout for Halloween art, but Chicago really proved me wrong. The Halloween community showed up. I think that I would try to bring more than 20 of each design. Now I know that even at least for the more popular designs in my shop, it's probably safe to bring about 30 if I can manage it. At least bigger conventions. Not every convention is as big or has the attendance rate of C2E2, so I can't expect to sell out like this all the time. That's unreasonable. At least I know what's more popular, and this is helpful for me. So I'm gonna talk about my expenses, and then I'm gonna talk about how much money I made at the convention. So before I talk about expenses, really quickly, I just wanna say that these are expenses that I chose. I had certain priorities with these expenses that you might prioritize different things. So just keep that in mind, that these expenses are not representative of what you have to spend to do an artist alley out of state. The cost for the artist alley table was $490. The table cost was $475, but their online service charged a $15 service charge, so it was really $490. For 4 nights in a hotel room that was outside of the convention area, it was in Chinatown in Chicago, and I got a room with 2 beds, one for me and one for Cece. That total cost was $920 US. So the flight costs were really reasonable, flying from LaGuardia to Chicago and back. For 2 people in economy round trip, it was $436. Another $80 because it was $40 for each checked bag. So I had a checked bag on the way there, and I had a checked bag on the way back. So in terms of Ubers and taxis, we tried to save as much money as we could by walking to and from the convention center every day. I ended up taking Ubers from my apartment to LaGuardia, and then we took an Uber from O'Hare to the convention center, and then from our hotel back to O'Hare, and then I took another Uber from LaGuardia back home. So in total, my Uber expenses were about $210. They were all a lot longer trips. $50 to $60 per trip really feels like par for the course, unfortunately. So for the food expenses, for both Cece and I, because I was paying for her travel, hotel, and food, it ended up being about $415. That's a rough estimation because I'm including the food that we bought at the Chinese bakery, which we paid for in cash, and I did not write down how much we spent at the bakery every day. So it's a little bit of a guesstimation, but it's just over $400. Because I knew how long these convention days were going to be, that we were prioritizing good food. Cece and I are both very food-driven people, I think. We love food, and we were really looking forward to eating a lot of good food in Chicago. Most of it was spent in Chicago's Chinatown area, so we were also really happy to support like local businesses there. That is why my expenses are so high. Keep in mind, some of the expenses that I did not talk about were like the cost of print and sticker manufacturing that I had to do prior to this event to make sure I had enough inventory to bring. I also did not calculate how much I spent on the display because I've had the display items for a while and I can use those for future events. So all of the inventory and the display things to me are more like long-term investments for my business. These are just the expenses for Chicago specifically. That being said, here are the numbers for how much I made at the convention. So at this 3-day convention, my net sales were just under $8,000 US, which is mind-boggling. For my first artist alley ever, that's crazy. Now, I don't really know what other artists who do the convention circuit full-time, what they would think about that number. For me, that wildly exceeded any of my expectations for my first convention. Keep in mind that a lot of artists have their own goals for how much they want to make, what they need to make to keep their business afloat, how to pay for the expenses they have. I noticed when talking to other artists or seeing them talk in Discord that they would be like, oh, you know, this convention was kind of mid for me, or this convention was really slow for me, but I don't really know what that means in terms of sales and revenue. But for me, doing $8,000 approximately in net sales seems... In total, I did 384 transactions. About $5,700 of those sales were credit card transactions, and the rest were made in cash. Now, I heard from some artists that they were having a really hard time with credit card transactions. That can be for a lot of different reasons. It could be their device, it could be their POS system, it could be their service provider, their Wi-Fi connection. There was a brief time where I was completely out of $1 bills, which is my fault. So for some transactions towards the end, I had to say like, I can take cash if you have exact change. Making easy dollar amounts for people to have exact change can really help for cash transactions when you're thinking about pricing for your products. That's just something that I learned from this experience. Almost all of this money is going to be put back into my business throughout the rest of the year. There are a lot of other products that I want to make. I'm also traveling to Washington, D.C. later this year, so part of this money will help pay for those hotel and other expenses from that event. But I'm really excited that my first con was what I consider to be a big success. I'm really proud of myself. To every artist who introduced themselves to me, you have no idea how happy I am to have met you and connected with you. I think like all of the good vibes of Artist Alley made this experience so wonderful. I'm excited to apply to other conventions, and if I get into more, I will let you know, but at the very least, I know I will be at Otakon this year, so I can't wait for that. I've heard such great things about that convention. If you stopped by my table and I was out of a design that you liked or a print that you really liked, my shop is now open. You can find the link down below. Almost all of my designs are still in stock as of today, filming this. But I was really excited to reopen my online shop, so if you missed out on anything or you saw something in my footage that you really liked, you can check it out down below. If you liked this vlog and want to see more, please like and subscribe. And to the city of Chicago, thank you so much again for giving my ghosts a home. Until the next vlog, bye!